Hey guys, it's Sarah here, Tuesday morning, with your latest edition of Quarantine Workout Tips. Today what I'm going to do is show y'all a very simple drill that you can use to essentially kind of reset the body. If you have any relationship with low back pain, obviously that's not the best relationship. It's a pretty terrible relationship, but a lot of us have it. Okay, so this is a simple drill that you can use to essentially decrease that low back pain by means of firing up your deep core muscles. So it's really nifty actually. So before we get to that, Bobo wants to say hi, of course.
He's thrilled.
He's a very thrilled dude this morning. So I released a program that launched today. It's free. It's a 5-day program called Daily Movement. Really original title there, but this is where you can get it. I made a Facebook post about it. It's on Instagram as well. My publisher, Georgette, is, I give her credit for helping me put this out there, but it's a free program as a PDF. So let me just show y'all real fast. It's 44 pages, and essentially what you're going to get are 5
There's kind
days.
of glare.
There's a glare?
Yeah.
Okay. Not really
You
important.
can see the daily movement part, but
We can kind of just, essentially just so you get an idea, I've got each of the 5 days arranged as a circuit telling you which exercises to do, how many reps, all that good stuff. With each of these has a hyperlink, so it'll take you directly to a YouTube video on my channel so that you know exactly how to do stuff. And then in addition, what I did was each one has a hyperlink on its exercise page so that you can have further reference, but I broke it down and added some still shots and an explanation for each exercise. So it's a very comprehensive tome, so to speak, for each of these exercises that are involved. So again, this is where you get it. Woo!
Yeah.
That's some high-tech advertisement right there. Yeah, totally high-tech. So without further ado, let's get to, we can flash back on that when we get done.
yeah.
We're going to mosey on this way
Ding, ding, ding.
and hang out on the lovely carpeted area in the back of the gym here. So what we're
Laid
going to do...
partially by Nanon.
Yes, you can tell it's well used. So we're going to do some rolling, okay? So not foam rolling. That has its place as well. But what we're going to do here is we're going to actually roll the body. So when you see me do this, you might go, that looks really silly, or it looks like you're not really doing anything. But this is one of those things where I found when I have clients do it, it really, you can like see one of those like light bulbs go off above their head and like a little thought bubble. It's one of those type of exercises. So like I said when I opened up this video, if you have any sort of history of back pain or have difficulty like getting your deep core muscles to fire, this is a great way to kind of get back in touch with that. It ties in with breathing. This is one of those movements that is very, very, it's a very primal movement, meaning that when you watch a baby learn how to move, essentially go to where they're rolling, going to crawling, standing, all of that stuff, into walking. This is one of those exercises that's it's innate inside of us. So for a lot of people that have an issue with certain movement patterns, so this ties into, if you follow the FMS, the rotary stability pattern, which we want to rotate to do movement, but we also want to resist rotation. So if you have difficulty resisting rotation and stabilizing, that can lead to all sorts of problems. So this is one of the drills that really helps kind of hammer that movement pattern. And like I said, for low back pain, for any sort of movement glitches that have to do with rotation in general and gait and all these good things. I kind of detail it a little bit more in the book, but what we're going to do is try not to push off the floor with the limbs at all, or the body in general. So we're laying on the ground. We're going to do, so we've got 4 quadrants, okay? We've got right leg, right arm, and left arm, okay? We're going to roll from face up, or supine to prone, which is face down or on our stomach, and then back. So what you can do when you do any of these is if you feel like you have a glitch in any of these 4 quadrants, whether it's rolling from face up to face down or vice versa, make a note of it, because that's kind of one of those things where you can kind of pinpoint and work on those specific glitches and improve them. So what this is going to look like, if I'm going to show the lower body version first because it tends to be easier of the two because the weight of the leg helps assist you in rolling. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have the arms overhead. Again, the limbs are floppy. The cue that makes the most sense to me, but it's not the most politically correct, is that you're paralyzed, okay? So you don't want to try to assist yourself by pushing off the floor, but what we're going to do is we're going to take the leg over midline, which is the center of the body, and we're just going to let it guide us as we roll over. So you'll see that I kind of flopped, okay? You want to try to relax as much as possible, and you want to use your breathing to work through any sticking points. So if we're going from prone to back to supine, what we're going to do is take the leg, and we're going to use the head and look over the shoulder.
Yeah, like let your eyes kind of lead.
Right. So the head, neck, and the eyes really play a huge part in all of these, but more so in the upper rolling, you really have to use the head. So, so you can see I'll just do each side. Probably going to be a kicker or something. Yeah, there it is.
A Bobo treat.
So I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm trying not to push this right leg.
He's like, oh, that's where I left it.
Okay, so the neat thing about this is when you do this, you're forced to kind of exhale, like I said, through any sticking points. So you're getting your body to kind of use those breathing muscles to assist in the rolling. And then with that, like we really get some good kind of resetting of the deep core musculature. So for people that have low back issues, one of the things that we know is that essentially what happens is that those muscles get kind of shut down, so to speak, because of being in pain. So it makes sense to go in and kind of reset and see if we can kind of wake things up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay, so to show the upper, we're going to go here. So I'm going to actually, again, I'm not pushing through my feet. I'm going to raise my head up and I'm like looking kind of, my chin feels like it's in my armpit, but the cue that I like here is that you've got $100 bill like right here and you're like reaching for it. So it's like you've got something just out of your grasp. So to bring us back, I'm looking over my shoulder and I'm reaching. And again, I'm not pushing off the floor with my limbs. So you don't want to be in a hurry when you're doing this.
Right.
This isn't something that we're trying to like max out or like, you know, whatever. But yeah, so reach. This is my harder side. So my low back issues and hip issues I've had a nerve, I had a disc fragment pop off back in 2011 that was pushing on a nerve. So as a result, I had to go to PT for months. And I had foot drop on this left side. It was horrible. I had sciatica. It was just terrible. But everything that I've ever had injury-wise has seemed to be on my left side. So when I go to roll the left, I can always tell, it's just harder. There's like a barrier, and all this just wanted to cramp up. So it's a lot easier to come back, but rolling from my back onto my tummy is the harder. So here's one thing. If you find that it's difficult for you to do any of those, probably going to be an upper body one. You can take some sort of bolster, and we're going to essentially decrease your range of motion. So just like with any other exercise, if you decrease the range of motion, it's going to make it a little bit easier. I don't know if this will show the best, but what we could do is try to get me to work through less of like all the way from the floor.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
since that's like your wonkier side, people could fold up a towel or a yoga mat or something.
Yeah, you could totally do that. Like in here, if I'm working with a client, I can do things like take a band and like loop it around their shoulder and kind of pull them. You know, not cranking on it, but just a little bit of an encouragement. And so that's helping them go through the pattern with just a little assistance, and then essentially you take the assistance away and you do it just the full-fledged whatever. So
interesting. Yeah,
so that's what I call upper and lower quadrant rolling or soft rolling. And again, just a very, very simple, easy to do. If you've got floor space, you know, in your body,
you
can do it right now. But yeah, like I said, if you kind of use it as an assessment tool and kind of check in with yourself, like if you feel a little wonky that day or, you know, whatever, get down and kind of like go through it and just kind of see, and it can kind of be eye-opening. And then what you might also find is that through doing it, I would recommend doing at least 1 to 2 reps per side. per set. So like 1 to 3 sets. It doesn't take a lot. It's kind of one of those things where like any type of corrective movement shouldn't like, it should work like magic almost. Like you should feel kind of the result of it, but you shouldn't have to do tons of this. You should feel things kind of wake up, like I said earlier. So it's neat because as a result, you should notice a decrease in the tone. Actually, overall, like if you're carrying a lot of stress and whatnot, it'll help kind of just the breathing and the natural primal movement will kind of get your body to go, you know?
Neato.
So yeah. So that's y'all's little nugget for the day.
Like right now is probably a good time for people to check in with stuff like that.
Totally. Why, it's no better time than now, you know?
Yeah. Especially for people, I feel like that work out all the time. They don't really pay attention to like, they just want to blast through a workout. And
I mean, I'm guilty of it as anyone. But yeah, I mean, this stuff is not the sexy, fun stuff that people are going to, no one's PRing soft rolling. You know what I mean? So it's not one of those things that you're like, ooh, she does it so good. But it's going to help everything else that you do. You know what I mean? So like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I don't know if that's the right phrase, but like when you take that into consideration, stuff like this has a huge potential to improve everything else in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you want to get deep thinky, like if you're feeling better and moving better, it's going to affect everything else in your life in a positive way. Mm-hmm. So exercise is medicine, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Cool.
Mobility stuff matters.
It does. It definitely does. Resetting the body.
# mobility matters.
Yes.
Bobo does good rolls.
So y'all check out the free book or program.
Do we need
whatever.
to show the?
Yeah, let's come back and pan over. Bobo will point at it. Right there.
So check it out.
Check it out. Right there. Everyone get a copy.
Yay.
Yay. We'll see y'all later. Bye.